we want to invite you to the Rock Nation brunch. I'm the that said, why would I want to come? Why wouldn't you want to come? I said, you want me to keep it real with you, or you want me to lie to you?
Keep it a buck.
I said, the Rock Nation brunch ain't of nothing but JayZ putting a bunch of on the lawn and then going in the back door and saying, I told you I still run this shit. Give me the money.
Wow.
You think I'm letting it use my brand?
Let's say what y'all want about Poetic Flacco. You know what I'm saying? You can say he's fat and he stutters and he got wide hips. They say he smells bad. I never said it, Flacco. Say what you want. But my boy, he be getting to the bottom. They call him a tether. But I'll tell you one thing. He gonna dig up that information one way or another. It may not always be assembled correctly, but shit, you know, what do I know? Anyway, shout out to Flacco for exposing the agents. Here we go.
Rock Nation and JayZ's betrayal of the black community and schemes against Colin Kaepernick gets revealed, gets put on blast by multiple people with different agendas. That's how you know something is validated, when multiple people is telling the same story.
Right.
Now, these confirmations only confirm what we already knew regarding JayZ's and his relationship with the NFL, and essentially what JayZ partnered with the NFL for. It's no secret that JayZ has made a bulk of his wealth being an overseer for black folks. If a company, for one reason or another, got black folks on their tail, got black folks boycotting them, they hired JayZ as a mercenary to get black folks off their behind and to repivot our attention.
JayZ ain't in charge of me. I think Boosie said that back in the day. I think Pimp C said it too. Like, we don't give a damn what JayZ say. He the overseer? Let me find out.
See, when Colin Kaepernick took a stance for police brutality and was boycotting in the NFL, and the NFL then decided to boycott him and not give him any more jobs or take away his opportunities because he was boycotting police brutality, JayZ was one of the first people to hop on board and try to co-opt the movement to benefit himself. And the moment JayZ realized that it would be beneficial to turn against the movement, JayZ did. To really put into words how flagrant what JayZ did, you kind of have to go back. Like when Travis Scott was set to perform at the Super Bowl, JayZ chastised him for going against Rock Nation, because
I remember that.
Nation and JayZ was boycotting the Super Bowl. He was kind of taken away from Colin Kaepernick and trying to present himself as the leader of the movement. When the NFL approached Jermaine Dupri to help with social justice initiatives, JayZ told Jermaine Dupri, don't do it. Don't work with them. We boycotting them. And the minute the NFL came to JayZ with a deal, JayZ abandoned the initiative, JayZ abandoned everything, and JayZ began to work with the NFL. But that's not what...
That's crazy, because it is true that Jigga, if there's something black going on, Jigga's right in the middle. I should have known it was weird when he turned to a 5%er. I was like, when was Jigga? But I did always think it was weird for him to jump in bed with the NFL after the whole supporting Colin Kaepernick and the strong police brutality stance. Like, he even made a movie about that guy that went to Rikers Island and ended up unaliving himself because of his treatment. It was a whole thing. But yeah, he did seem like a social justice warrior, and to go against the grain of what was going on at the moment with Kaepernick just seemed crazy to me.
No, this video is about not only did JayZ begin to work for the NFL, JayZ began to work for the NFL as a mercenary. JayZ began to attack, tear down, and try to exterminate Colin Kaepernick on behalf of the NFL to make him go away. JayZ utilizes his real estate and cachet in the culture to enrich himself while effing over everybody else.
They call us, right? They say, Gilly, we want to invite you to the Rock Nation brunch. I'm the that said, why would I want to come? Why wouldn't you want to come? I said, you want me to keep it real with you, or you want me to lie to you?
Keep it a buck.
I said, the Rock Nation brunch ain't of nothing but JayZ putting a bunch of on the lawn and then going in the back door and saying, I told you I still run this shit. Give me the money.
Wow.
You think I'm letting it use my brand? Huh? See, Rich sit like this.
Yeah, I see how you turn to that.
I got this shit from...
I didn't really look at it like that. It definitely was a status thing. You would hear them talk about it. Did you go to Rock Brunch? Nah, I never got an opportunity. If I hold the biggest and best party, I must be the man. everybody got to come, and kiss the ring, so to speak.
Be seeing the rich shit like this, they get a little money, they cross their legs and shit. That's all this is, man. Let's keep it real. I operate with 26 major brands. You think I don't know what branding is? Come on, we don't work from New Amsterdam.
No, that's me. My bad.
Manscaped, Harrier razors, Roman swipes, you name them. They come to $1 million worth of game because we move the needle. I don't let nobody allow to use my brand with their brand. What do you get from going to these parties except for a picture? I don't even smile with you if you ain't worth 500 million or more. Let's be for real. The only smiling they do is when the billionaires in the picture. Look at all these broke ass on the lawn.
The NFL gave JayZ a $25 million deal to help with the Super Bowl halftime performance, but that's not really why JayZ did it. You see, JayZ put his cachet and his stake in the culture at risk because JayZ's ultimate goal is to own an NFL team. JayZ's seen it. This is the route to go. Prove my allegiance to the NFL after I try to boycott them, make their biggest problem, Colin Kaepernick, go away. And once I do that, well, then maybe they would award me with a team. Maybe later on down the line, I could purchase a team. So with JayZ,
it's probably not even a maybe. It's probably something in writing. Let's say performance-based. You won't put it like, if you wrangle these niggas up, then, you don't want to write it like that. You'll be like, if we improve in these particular sectors, you understand what I mean, right?
He began his partnership with the NFL. Rock Nation began to work against Colin Kaepernick. Rock Nation began a smear campaign against Colin Kaepernick with multiple platforms within the culture to make sure that Colin Kaepernick and his influence dwindles, it diminishes, so it no longer affects the NFL. JayZ became a mercenary for the NFL. Now, Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend went on live. And
now, let me just play devil's advocate for a second. One could argue, why pay JayZ all that money? Why don't you just give some to Colin Kaepernick and bring him back and give him a job? Because at one point, it sort of seemed like that's what it was all about, his ability to do that. And I guess the money was less important to the NFL than their image. And, a lot of the fans just didn't like Kaepernick and what he was doing.
He spoke briefly, kind of vague about it, but it was Van Lathan who followed up, who spoke as clear as day, dropped names, and really broke down exactly what Rock Nation and JayZ did. Like, kind of give us a couple pieces of the puzzle before we hear Van Lathan really tie it in.
I know it's a lot happening, but, I'm not new to this. We've been saying this for years. Look at the timeline, especially 2019. Lots of articles, lots of journalists did good investigative work to really unearth what was going on with the NFL, doing everything they possibly can to get rid of the controversy of teams not signing Colin Kaepernick because of his peaceful protest. Go back to the timeline. My Twitter, my Instagram, it's all there. And how the NFL, yes, they did use JayZ to smooth it over. That's why you're...
That's another bad thing about social media. Everybody has such short attention spans and memories. Donald Trump figured that out. On his first campaign, he could say something crazy and then people will forget about it next week because he'll say something else crazy and then so on and so forth. And after a while it gets buried. It was, when no one can find it. And people sort of forget. And you got to have pieces like this to bring it up. Oh, remember this? Remember that? Oh, yeah.
I'm sure great shows that I do not watch or support. I don't care who's on that stage. I don't care. I don't watch that league. Because it doesn't change the fact that they wrongfully punished Colin for his peaceful protest. Colin was not protesting his employment. No. He was protesting police killing Black people, systemic racism. And the worst part about during that time were the smear campaigns that were happening behind the scenes to try to discredit Colin publicly, to sway people to think that Colin was okay being blackballed or he was asking for a lot of money.
And you know who was behind the smear campaign? Well, you guessed it, bruh. Rock Nation. At this point, bruh, we got to start calling JayZ BB. Because BB and JayZ got very similar characteristics, bruh. They sit behind the scenes.
I think you're talking about Benton Yahoo.
They manipulate. JayZ was trying to tear down and destroy a cultural icon like Colin Kaepernick. Oh, I thought JayZ was for black people. And this is not a conspiracy. Somebody who was in the room can confirm that Rock Nation gave them a call asking them to push a terrible story and a lie about Colin Kaepernick. Van Lathan was in the room.
It was Nessa, and she was talking about Nicki Minaj's claims about a smear job that JayZ had against Colin Kaepernick. All right. I have to say this. I think the thing here, and I've told this story before, I think the thing here is the JayZ part of it. Obviously, that's the biggest deal.
I don't know why the JayZ part would be a gray area. JayZ signed a deal with the NFL. JayZ's name is on that contract. JayZ is the owner of Rock Nation.
Right.
So if Rock Nation is calling media platforms, pushing a story and a smear campaign against Colin Kaepernick on behalf of the NFL, then yeah, JayZ is involved.
I'm not saying it was JayZ. I can't say that JayZ did anything, right? But I know for sure, that Rock Nation was seeding negative stories about Colin Kaepernick during the time that he was really in traction with JayZ. For sure. I've told this story before, I'll tell it again. This is another story where I give Harvey a ton of credit, right? So I'm at my desk one time. This is after the Rock Nation NFL deal has been announced. And give Harvey more.
Oh, so he tried to get TMZ to badmouth Colin Kaepernick. Wow. And we know, we've heard from a couple places, allegedly, 19 times allegedly, that TMZ could put some work in for you if you got the, you know what I'm saying? They could put the right story out at the right time. So I hear. So they say, allegedly.
Than just with how he played this. I'll give him credit for the fact that he goes, hey, I just got this information on the phone. I know who was on the other end of the phone. I know who Harvey's Rock Nation contact is, right? I just got this information on the phone. And all of these things about Colin Kaepernick is what I just got told, right? He comes over to me and he tells me all of these things. And it was the whole Colin Kaepernick doesn't really want to play narrative. Like Colin Kaepernick didn't go to this training, or he sabotaged himself this way or whatever. Actually, it was...
And none of that is true, is what he's saying. I'm suspecting.
Same thing that people had started to hear on First Take. And it was a narrative that was getting around because either it was coming from, what I thought at first is that either it was coming from players that had played with him or people that knew things. I don't know, but I had heard it before, right? And Harvey comes over to me and he says all of this stuff. And he's like, yeah, did you know that he actually doesn't really want to play? And I looked at Harvey and I said, look, I don't think that we here at TMZ should be getting in the middle of what's going on between Colin Kaepernick and JayZ. I think if we run what essentially was a hit piece on Colin Kaepernick, I don't think we have the cultural cachet to do that. Number one, to insert ourselves into the middle of that situation. And also,
nah, but y'all got enough strength as a brand. People would have believed it. A lot of people rely on the stories that come out of TMZ and consider them to be automatically true. Although, you know, they say allegedly, just like everyone else.
I think it's choosing a side in something that is literally at the core of a culture, of a Black cultural discussion right now. I don't think we should do it. And he listened.
It's been about 5 years or so, so a lot of people have forgotten. But at this time, a lot of people was giving JayZ flack for taking a deal because it felt like betrayal. It felt like
for like a week and a half.
JayZ crossed that picket line. JayZ was the one that was chastised.
The one that helped set up the picket line crossed it. He did a Lord Jamar. Went back to Vlad.
As in criticizing any and everyone who performed at the Super Bowl, right? He put himself at the forefront of a movement that had nothing to do with him. Colin Kaepernick didn't ask him for his help. JayZ wanted to be, again, cachet in the culture is how that's the only currency JayZ has, is his cachet in the culture. JayZ is doing deals with zero upfront capital because they believe he has cachet in the culture.
Damn, for real? They like this Jigga. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. On name alone, on strength alone, on ability to move things around, that should show you how valuable black people, we liquid money, yo. I hate to say it, yo. That's how valuable the hearts and minds of hip hop culture, let's say that, but you know what it ultimately burns down to. It shows how immensely valuable it is if this dude is legit. These are all allegations as far as I'm concerned. I haven't verified any of this. I'm reacting. But if that's true, then dude, we're so free with our money that it makes us just impossible to resist. Why do you think people still open up stores in the hood? The hood is the worst place you can ever open up a goddamn store, but it's easy to get some money off of niggas. Here we go.
JayZ put himself at the forefront of this movement, trying to boss people around, telling them not to perform, boycott the NFL because he wanted to co-opt the movement. He successfully co-opted the movement and then told the NFL, you wanted to go away, right? Hey, I want in. I want parts of the NFL. So then they gave him the Super Bowl. And now he has complete control of the Super Bowl halftime performance show. And now JayZ has more power. And now I'm pretty sure in about 5 or 10 years, he's probably going to be owning an NFL team. And this is just not right. It's not cool. Now, Van Lathan would say that they ultimately settled on a different story that would kind of, do good PR for JayZ, but not throw Colin Kaepernick under the bus. And here's the story they ended up going with instead of the smear campaign that Rock Nation tried to get TMZ to run.
Stuff that really ain't had nothing to do with you, just a distraction from how you was stabbing him in the back. Like, just bring him down a peg or two. What?
He did not do it. He listened. He goes, okay, that makes a lot of sense. He listened. I'm like, I don't think we should do that. Like, he listened, right? He went and got back on the phone. And when he came back, there was a different story. And the story that ended up making it to TMZ was that JayZ somehow had the inside track on becoming an NFL owner because of his relationship with the NFL. And that ended up being the story. You guys could probably Google that story. I'm sure it's still on the site, that JayZ was going to become an NFL owner. And the reason why that story went up is because it was still a story that kind of explained why he had decided to take the deal with the NFL. It was a story that...
Right, because then it's pitched. I think that was around the time that the 444 album was out. It was pitched as like, I had to make sacrifices to do something bigger. Then I could put more blacks in management. Then it'd be another black billionaire. You know what I'm saying? We need that as black people. Another black billionaire, don't we? I mean, I'm a billionaire, but like a double billionaire, like a quadruple, like a septillionaire. We need...
Made it make sense to people. Like, oh my God, maybe JayZ, as the owner of a team, can then put Colin on a team. Or
that would have took too long. That nigga legs, his knees is aging like I don't know what.
Maybe moving on from the kneeling situation is worth it because we're going to get a black owner in the NFL.
Or just
JayZ sold out his own people to enrich himself. Like, are you shocked? Like, are you shocked that Rock Nation or JayZ did this? I'm not at all. This is on brand. Now, TMZ had enough cachet or enough pop.
I'm not shocked at anything like this. Listen, if we living in a culture that you can unalive each other easily with no problem or backlash or repercussion, not from the culture. I'm not saying whatever criminal charges, to stem from there, but and still keep your love in the streets. Come on, man. Why wouldn't somebody not backstab someone? You mean backstab the community? Just par for the course.